Thank you so much, Craig. Yes, I represent this cluster, NC Maritime Cleantech, and we are really doing United Nations Sustainability Goals number 17 in practice. And I guess you all can remember what that was, partnership for the goals. I'd just like to give you a short introduction of our cluster. And this is a cluster encompassing the entire maritime value chain. And we are approximately 90 partners. And when I say the maritime value chain, I mean the new maritime value chain. Because when working on electrifications, new fuels, new solutions, you need to collaborate with new partners. For instance, in Norway, we have grid owners who are very important stakeholders when electrifying vessels. So we have hydropower companies, grid companies, also as partners of the cluster, in addition to battery suppliers, fuel cell suppliers, who's now playing a more significant role in the new shipping industry. As you can see, we also have many competitors among our cluster partners. And that can be sometimes demanding, but we need to focus on what we can collaborate on, and we need to organize our development projects in different consortium where different stakeholders are represented. In addition, we also have R&D universities as important partners in this kind of collaboration, and the public sector and the finance sector as well. From this cluster, many groundbreaking solutions have been launched, and one of them is the ferry Ampere, which I suspect that many of you have heard about before. This is the world's first fully electrical car ferry, and it's operating in the Sognefjord, a bit south from Tromsø, in Sogn og Fjordane. And it's also become a kind of tourist destination because we now see that many want to come to Norway just to go and travel with this ferry, which it is without any noise, without any emissions at all. This ferry was built and developed by Fjellstrand, which is one of the partners of the cluster. And what is an important lesson from this project is that this is not only good for the climate, it is also good for the business. Because we see that we can reduce energy cost by over 70% by having an electrical ferry. And this ferry has also been an important demonstrator, a proof of concept. Seeing is believing. So now the politicians and the government have said that all upcoming public contracts should have zero or low emission technology on board. And that has resulted in an electrical revolution in Norway. So now there will be, by 2021, 70 electrical ferries like Ampere in operation along the coast in Norway. And how can this happen? How can you take this kind of story into your markets? I think one important lesson to be learned here is how the government has used the public ferry contract as an instrument for innovation. It started out with the LNG ferry back in 2000, the first LNG fully propelled ferry. And the next step was Ampere, which was a result of a public governmental resolution saying that they wanted a development contract for an electrical car ferry. And the next step now is hydrogen. In 2016, the government launched a contract saying that they wanted a hydrogen electrical ferry in operation by 2021. And also, some of the county regions has launched a contract for a zero-emission fast-speed boat, and hydrogen is, of course, a part of the solution there. So this is for the ferries. Can this be used in other segments? And the answer is, of course, yes. We now see this electrical hybrid revolution going on in many different segments, even in deep sea shipping. We have a project in our cluster where one of our deep sea ship owner is implementing batteries as part of the energy system to cool down the containers on board the vessel. But in addition, we see batteries as a part of the energy system on board offshore vessels, where the battery also functions as a kind of peak shaver function, and then reduce energy consumption by up to 30%. So this is what is going on in Norway now. A lot of talk about batteries, and we see important results also in terms of reduced operational cost. Thank you.